Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Hello, captains, and welcome to episode 499 of Priority 1, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast.
You couldn't quite decide who to talk to. Hello, you? Hey, you? I know you. You're that.
You're right.
You.
Thank you. Thank you for calling out that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Hi, everybody.
Where'd he go? Now he left. Sorry, I embarrassed you. I didn't mean to chase you off.
It was too bright. Hold on, I'm staying.
It's bright. It's too bright.
Anyway,
It's
hi,
mirror
everybody.
Elio tonight.
499, episode 499. That's right. Cat lives. We freed her from Ruapempe.
I have returned from
right.
the frozen depths
That's
Of
right.
Texas.
of Austin, Texas.
That's right. So we're glad that
Winter
you're safe
wonderland that everyone
and
knows.
that you're healthy. You know that
Yes.
you have power and you have water, running water. So
I
good.
do. I don't even have to boil it,
Oh, good.
anymore.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
so that's exciting.
Isn't it great when you're at a point in the United States where you have to be like, at least I don't have to boil my water. Oh, jeez. Anyway.
I wish that lots of people had that. Looking
Yeah.
at you, Flint, Michigan.
Yep. So, but we're glad you're back. We're glad to have you back. This is our penultimate, our 499th episode. That's it.
That's
This is our last one,
amazing.
guys. That's it. I'm announcing it here. This is our last episode.
We're
not
done.
even- we're done. We're not even
Yeah.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye, everybody. So 499. Don't forget that March 13th, we are doing a 500-minute live stream. And that's happening starting at around 11 a.m. Pacific time. We've already made we've made a post about it. So save the date and make sure that that you join us for that. So slated to join us is Roddenberry. We're going to introduce him to Star Trek Online. After 10 years, he's never played it. So if all goes according to plan, he'll be joining us at 12 Pacific time, and he'll be playing with us for 2 hours. Al Rivera will be a part of that too to help
To
him
tell
out.
us how we're doing it wrong.
To tell us all how we're doing it wrong, how we're playing it wrong. Then we also are doing a Star Trek Adventures, the Klingon version with Mary Chifo. That's happening towards the end of the live stream, so we're really excited about that.
That's
We're excited about everything.
awesome.
Yeah.
She's
So
so
we're gonna do that.
That was a fun interview. I enjoyed that interview.
That was a fun
Man,
interview.
she's amazing. Sorry, I
And-
geeked out on her for a bit.
Totally understandable.
Yeah, no, she's just awesome. She's just awesome. And yeah, and so we've got I've reached out to several other Star Trek actors and notables, and I'm starting to hear back from a few of them, so I'm eager to develop that even further. It's been an exhausting week trying to get everybody. So if you happen to know of a Star Trek actor that you have a better way of communicating with them than through their representatives, please let me know. But also, we have giveaways. We've got we're going to be doing giveaways throughout the day, incentivizing donations to the Poor People's Campaign here in the United States. They do phenomenal work, particularly right now with what's going on with COVID in marginalized and underserved communities, to help make sure that they're educated on vaccines and that they're signing up for vaccines. So we're really excited. We're really excited to raise funds for them. There's already a page up for I got to do a landing page this week, and that way people can start donating and stuff. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna treat it. I think we're gonna treat it much like we did our 400th episode, where after certain tiers are met, we will then not raffle off. We'll do a giveaway, a random giveaway for certain items. So we've got, for instance, 2 legendary ship packs that Star Trek Online has donated, among other things from Star Trek Online, but you can look forward to that. Forbidden Planet in the UK has offered up $100 pack of items to give away. So we've got that going too. So I'm really excited for those kind of things. I have also some stuff in my closet that I'll be able to send out. Yeah, and our patrons will definitely get a 500th patch that was designed by who else than by the talented and amazing Thomas.
He's trying to
Moran.
remember his name again. He did the same thing.
He's right there in the chat, bro. He's right there in the chat.
You designed that.
What I was
You
doing was
did.
trying to think of adjectives to describe him. But yes, we have
you need to think about
patch.
that?
Huh?
You need to think about that? I'll rattle off 6 right now. The talented, the visionary, the hardworking, the audacious, the charming. He's charming, and no, he's comparable. He's comparable to many of the. He's comparable to many of the other production designers, great production designers that have come before him. The Zimmermans, if you will, the Proberts, if you will. Yes, he's comparable. Oh, he's comparable. Oh, he is. I owe him a 6th one. The medium height. He's comfortably medium height. There's number 6.
Well, thanks, Tony. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
All
welcome.
right, this is why we have you on the show.
That's why. That's my entire job description. Derail stuff.
But yeah, happy birthday, Tracy!
Happy birthday, Tracy Coco.
Happy birthday, Tracy
I
Lee
was
Coco.
hoping that
Birthday.
you were gonna show up in the chat. I didn't see you in the chat, but happy
Cheers.
birthday!
That
We won't
is
sing you happy
amazing.
birthday. That's
No.
okay. But we hope that you
Well,
have
I
a.
won't.
Go ahead, Kat.
Happy birthday, Tracy Lee Coco.
Yes, let's
You
raise
are
a drink.
Awesome.
Raise a
Yes.
drink to Tracy Lee Coco.
Get it on camera.
I'll drink
Good
to that.
bourbon. So happy birthday! We hope you are healthy and well, and that you're enjoying your day. And even though we may be still locked down, we hope that you're having a good day, Tracy. And yeah. So the 13th, 500th episode. Be sure or not. It's not. We're doing our 500th episode. We're doing our 500th episode like regular next week on Tuesday, and then we just have the live stream. So again, we've got a page. I'll share.
Don't
the page
expect
of it
anything special, is what we're saying.
for our 500th.
Right. I mean, lower your expectations for the actual show.
I don't know. Now you got me wondering if we should just not record an episode and just do the 500th live stream. No, we have to do an episode, right? We have
I
to.
think I have to do an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be it's going to be like a prototype one, a prototypical one, the usual one.
Right.
Like, if you're going to tune in, this is what you usually get every week.
Right.
Which,
So-
according to your expectations, might not be great, but it could be good. I don't know.
So for those of you curious, like I said, we're raising funds that entire 8-hour run. 8 hours is about 8 hours. It's 500
8 hours
minutes
and 20
translates
minutes.
to about 8 and 20. So we're doing a 500-minute live stream on Saturday the 13th. We're raising funds for the Poor People's Campaign. I just put a link there to our fundraising page. You're welcome to start contributing if you have the financial means. Please do. And here's a link to their website if you want to learn more. Like I was saying earlier, they're doing a lot of work in underserved communities, especially during COVID. And what I like a lot about them is not only do they work with underserved communities for COVID, but they deal with everything. It's not just Black Lives Matter. It's not just it's about Black Lives Matter. It's about immigration reform. It's about protecting immigrants who are caught up in the system and get deported with barely any due process. They do a lot of work, and so we decided to go with them to raise funds. So hopefully you can contribute to that, and we can do a little bit of giving back on our 500th episode. Tony, you were going to say something? You kind of raised your...
Yeah, I was just was thinking I should have said Okuda. I mentioned
yes.
Zimmerman and Probert, but I really should have said Okuda. That's what I should have
That's right.
said.
That's right.
I'm having regrets now. I just had to get that off my chest.
So we hope you'll join us. In the meantime, why don't we do a show? Let's go ahead and record a show, shall we?
I can do a show.
All right, I suppose.
All right, Kat, why don't you do the cold open this week, since you'll be
All right.
gone for the last two. Tony, do you mind
feels
taking...
like forever.
Hello, John.
Do you want me to do the
Time
stamps?
Yeah. All right, intro in 3, 2...
This week on episode 499 of Priority One, we check out the marketing machine for Paramount Plus and how it might affect Star Trek and how a community... Oh, whoops, that's separate. Let me try that again. This week on episode 499 of Priority One, we check out the marketing machine for Paramount Plus and how it might affect Star Trek. Dang, I can't talk. You know, I almost froze to death.
You gotta knock the rust off. It's okay. You mess up here all you want.
This week on episode 499 of Priority One, we check out the marketing machine for Paramount Plus and how it might affect Star Trek, and how a community initiative spotlights the ways women make Trek. In Star Trek gaming, you'll soon get your hands on that Voyager-J in Star Trek... In Star Trek gaming, you'll soon get your hands on that Voyager-J in Star Trek Online, and as seen in Oh, damn it. I am terrible today.
There needs to be more commas in there or something.
In Star Trek gaming, you'll soon get your hands on the Voyager...
I'm going to put a comma here, and I'm going to put a comma here.
Oh, thank you.
That might help.
In Star Trek gaming, you'll soon get your hands on that Voyager-J in Star Trek Online, as seen in Star Trek Discovery, and Star Trek Adventures updates some tabletop goodness.
Sorry, I needed to double check if we had a spammer in the chat. Okay. Intro in 3? Okay, actually, we were already in intro. Hello, Captains. You're listening to episode 499 of Priority One, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. Your weekly recap and review of all the major news happening in the Star Trek multiverse. This episode was recorded on Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021, and available for download or streaming on Friday, March 5th at PriorityOnePodcast.com. I'm Elio.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Tony.
Welcome back, Kat. We were able to save you with a bird of prey on the frozen planet of Ruapenthe.
Thanks for getting me out of there because it was close. That shapeshifter almost got me.
Well, we're glad that you're healthy. We're glad
I think
that
that guy had knees.
Right? Think they could snuggle up with me at night, keep me warm.
Yes. So we're glad that you and the pups are safe and that you walked away relatively unscathed.
Yes, it was rough, but I know a lot of people had it worse, and I hope that they have recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is this me then?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This week, we want to welcome new listeners to the show and hope you'll stay in touch. Given that we're a podcast built by a community of Star Trek
just
fans...
start this with but.
Okay.
Because that'll be an easier transition.
Can I just pause for a second? I don't think you ever actually named the person that designed the anniversary patch.
I did.
I just talked over him. It's Thomas Maroney.
Oh, okay. I didn't
And I went
hear
through
him
my whole
actually. Well, I mean, I heard all your
character
I
thing.
knew who you were talking about, but I
Oh,
didn't
right.
actually hear him being named. So if I didn't hear it, maybe other people didn't hear it. So that guy is
you know
awesome.
what? While Thomas is on, I'm gonna show the patch.
It's a nice
Oh,
patch.
that's
But go
nice.
ahead, go
It's
ahead,
so
Kat.
cool. It's so cool. All right. But this week, we want to welcome new listeners to the show and hope you'll stay in touch. Given that we're a podcast built by a community of Star Trek fans, it's also. Oh, crap. Given that we're a podcast built by a community of Star Trek fans, it's important that we also hear your opinions. Be sure to follow us on places like Twitter and Facebook, where we post weekly community questions, special announcements, and more. Just search for Priority One Podcast on your favorite app. Just search for Priority One Podcast on your favorite app and you'll find us. Or you can email us. Just reach us at incoming@priorityonepodcast.com.
As Kat said, this is a community podcast produced by a team of volunteers, people that dedicate their time and talents each and every week with no pay. From our audio editors to writers to the hosts, we come together each week because we're passionate about the Star Trek multiverse.
And like any passion project, it's hard to keep things running at no cost. So if you find value in this production and want to help us continue to grow, check us out at our Patreon page. There you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. But we understand that financial contributions might be tough right now.
Which is why our
Wait,
doors
hold on,
always.
Wait. I gotta interject here a second. Sorry.
What?
And this month we have 2 new patrons that we need to thank. Christopher Settle and Adam Crockett. Thank you both for becoming patrons this month. We're so very grateful that you find value in the production of this show and you're willing to make sure that we can continue to produce another 500 episodes. Thank you so very much, Christopher and Adam.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you both, but don't forget there are other ways to help us out here. If you can't make a financial contribution, you can always share and like and retweet our social media posts. And our door is always open to other passionate Trekkies who might be interested in joining our team. From audio or video editors to artists to hosting. That's right, the hunt is on for a new voice to join us. So if you've got a lot to say about Star Trek, we encourage you to visit our website, PriorityOnePodcast.com, and click on the Join the Team link at the top. There you'll find a description of available positions you can contribute to.
I can start talking into Spanish. I can start speaking in Spanish and enticing other members of marginalized and... Hold on, I don't want to say that. I can start talking in Spanish to try to incentivize you to be a member of the hosting team here. But really what we're trying to do is elevate voices that otherwise may not have a platform by which to voice their opinions about Star Trek and their thoughts and their opinions. So, if you're a member of the BIPOC and or LGBTQ community, we hope that you'll seriously consider applying. It's important that we make every effort to represent all corners of the Star Trek community. So, remember, that site is PriorityOnePodcast.com.
Now let's check out the latest news from the Star Trek multiverse.
All right, 7:20. So did you guys see the patch? Did you guys see the patch? Look at the patch. Look at the patch.
Patch is amazing. Thank you, Thomas.
good patch.
Maroney.
Yeah, Thomas, thank
Real
you
good patch.
so very much. This is just, I can't wait to see it printed.
That's so cool.
We're going to be printing it for our patrons. So if you're a member of our Patreon family.
Printing. No. These are going to be high quality embroidered patches.
Embroidered patches. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I thought that
yes.
that's,
Like
that.
It's like
Yes.
As a sample.
Yes. Show them the graphic.
This will be.
Yeah.
It'll be similar to. I mean, it won't be square. It'll be round, like Thomas had. But
Oh,
it's
I'm
gonna
not sure.
have.
Hold on,
You know,
I gotta switch back to you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Switch back. So, yeah. So it's high quality embroidery type stuff. I don't think we have a silvery lining. Did we pick the silvery lining? I don't know. It might be a little
it's gold.
ostentatious. Did we get the shiny thread? I don't know if we got the shiny thread or not.
I didn't order it yet.
don't
I
know.
have to order it.
Oh well, we could get the shiny thread then.
Can you?
We should
I just
spring
give
for the
you
shiny
Can I
thread.
can I give this responsibility to you?
Yes,
please?
you can.
Thank you.
Are you asking me to make Thomas's patches a reality? Is that what you're
Oh,
asking me to
you
do?
could do shiny thread on the outside. That
I
would be
will
amazing.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
I will
Tell me-
make Thomas's
I'm
patches
glad,
a
thank you,
reality.
because I'm busy
I
kind
will
of
do this.
organizing this this 500th episode on Saturday. And
You've given me a job that I love. I will do
Thank
this.
you. Okay, good. I will send this to you.
Aw,
and,
thank you, Tony. That's
thank you.
amazing.
So thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Tony. And yeah, our patrons can look forward to that. So
Did you want to
we may have a
redo
few to
the
give away
sweep
during the day. I'm sorry, Kat.
from
What?
the last? If I'm reading this first story, do you want to redo the sweep from the last segment since I swept out? And,
You've been gone for 2 weeks.
No, you've been gone.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
it's
if
fine.
you
You
wanna
take
hear
that
from me,
spotlight and you run with it, girl. You just go.
Well, all right
Ooh,
then.
I'm glad that some of you in the chat are excited about it. Like Jamal saying, "Gotta have the shiny."
It's a good patch.
And
Yeah,
well,
right,
maybe Jamal's saying
right.
that you gotta have it. Maybe he's not thinking that he's gotta have it, but that one has to have shiny.
Well,
One must have the
if you
shiny
have
thread.
an option between shiny thread and non-shiny thread, I mean, obvious choice.
I think you gotta go with shiny thread.
Thomas says that if you need the vector files to let him know, and he'll send it over.
Yes,
Ooh,
yes. Actually,
vector
they
files.
prefer that. They do like
Oh,
that.
they
'Cause
do.
that way
All right, so Thomas, can you send me the vector, please?
Such
Yep,
a-
because that way they
Awesome.
can shrink it and size it however they need to, and make adjustments to the text if it doesn't quite fit or if the font's like a little off or whatever. Yeah, they like that.
And,
But yeah, shiny thread's really good. It's a safety thing because if you wear it on a jacket, it's reflective.
Oh, well, look at that. We're looking out
Practical
for you.
concerns.
Here, priority one, looking out for you. Looking out for you.
Safety first,
cool.
priority one.
That's true.
That's right.
Also helping out with some art is a friend of the show, Alejandro Todisco. He organizes Star Trek Argentina, and he's been helping us out doing some banners and some promotional stuff that we're going to be pushing this next week or so. So if you haven't already, be sure to share Priority One Podcast stuff. I'm really excited. Thank you to Jamal and to Ed, who I just saw shared our live stream on their Facebook pages. To David Koch, who's always sharing our stuff on Facebook. Thank you. But yeah, we want this to be successful. I think it's a good organization that we're going to be raising funds for. We did Extra Life for our 400th. We raised about $2,000 for that. I think we can certainly match it with your help. So tell your friends. And all right, so let's move on.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. So this is 11:15, please. Trek it out in 3, 2.
If you use Twitter to stay current with Star Trek news, then last week your phone probably blew up when the Hagman, is it Hagman?
I think it's Hagman, yeah, not
Hagman,
Yeah, it's
okay.
Hagman. It's not Hajiman. Hajiman.
Page man.
The Hageman.
Oh, Hageman. I like that one. It's ice cream flavors. If you use Twitter to stay current with Star Trek news, then last week your phone probably blew up when the Hagman brothers dropped an image of what appears to be the main 6 characters of Star Trek Prodigy.
Tell me that one more. Give it to me one more time.
Did I say Prodigy? I did. Awesome.
You did
Well,
right.
no, it was more like you were
He's-
like
he's-
the main
He didn't like the.
character.
It's like
Yeah.
you're saying, hey, you.
Hey, you 6 main or
Guys.
main guys,
main people.
They-
folks.
folks. All right, take 2 or 7.
Beep beep.
If you use Twitter to stay current with Star Trek news, then last week your phone probably blew up when the Hagman. Damn it. Awesome. If you use Twitter to stay current with Star Trek news,
No,
then
that
last
was
week.
a weird start.
I know, dang.
You came under it. If you use Twitter to stay current in Star Trek news, it was odd.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. I may try that on mine. Which one's mine?
Please do.
All right.
The next one, maybe?
Sweet.
If you use Twitter to stay current with Star Trek news, then last week your phone probably blew up when the Hagman brothers dropped an image of what appears to be the 6 main characters of Star Trek Prodigy, the upcoming animated series that was originally slated to premiere on Nickelodeon but has since moved to become a Paramount Plus offering, only to be rebroadcast on Nickelodeon after the first 10 episodes are released on Paramount Plus. We'll have an image of the characters for you in our show notes.
Actually, let's pause here and talk about it. So,
Okay.
yo, Twitter blew the frack up over this image.
It did, and I didn't understand why they were adorable.
It's it's a combination of things. It's you have there the Star Trek community really is turning out to be like another red versus blue kind of dialogue competition of who can say the zinger first kind of thing. And it's really unfortunate because you've got gatekeepers on both sides. You've got gatekeepers saying this is Star Trek. If you don't love it, get the GTFO. And then you've got people who are, this is ridiculous. I hate everything about it. And all they do is just back and forth attack each other. And it's a picture. We have a picture. So just stop gatekeeping. Stop gatekeeping on both sides. Just stop. Just enjoy your Trek or don't enjoy it. Tweet about it if you want. But stop going after the other side because they voice their opinion. Just stop. Who cares? God.
We have to get back to the idea that the show has to be good TV first. If it's good TV, you can forgive a lot of, canon blenderings that they do. You can forgive that. If it's good TV, you kind of don't care. And if it's good TV, it'll bring people in, whether it's Star Trek or not. But it's got to be good TV first. And that's that. I mean, maybe people are jumping to conclusions a little bit on the just having a picture. So probably ought to cool our jets a little bit. Maybe see some teaser reels and that kind of thing. But I think we've been hurt before. Those of us who are older fans of Star Trek. To me, I saw the picture. Yeah, it looks like some sort of wacky zany type show, but also that as a danger signal to me, it's like this could be any show. They're just going to put a Star Trek label on it and cast Kate Mulgrew. But this could be any wacky, random, zany group of misfit alien kids who find a spaceship.
All right.
That's to me, that's the danger. That's the part that has me a little bit hesitant.
I wasn't hesitant at all. I'm like, again, we don't know anything about the story. I mean, it sounds like
we know
just
that.
want to do like an adventure in space with some kids and,
Right.
and they're going to
then they're going to put a Star Trek label on it and call it Star Trek.
Yeah,
and that's
Star Trek involved somehow. But you know what? I'll still watch it.
Yes,
because it's got a Star Trek label on it.
Yes, you're gonna watch it. It just
and that's kind of the point.
What last week exemplified for me was the hyperbole on both sides. It just whether you're a community quote unquote leader that always tweets positive things about Star Trek, or you're on the opposite camp, a dude wearing a fake helmet claiming doom and gloom on all Star Trek things. You've got hyperbole on both sides. It was an image. Love it or hate it, it's an image. Tone it back. You know what? Instead of hating it, why not just voice your opinion about what you look forward to most? And if you absolutely love it, then love it. Who cares? Just leave the other side alone. Gosh.
Yeah. Gosh.
It's a picture.
People, stop being cray. Well, all right. Moving on. In their Investors' Day presentation on Wednesday, February 24th, Variety reports that the move is part of a greater strategy, according to Paramount Plus programming chief Julie McNamara, who said, quote, quote, there is a kind of franchise strategy, which is the notion that if you execute new versions of this really strong IP that you have, well, you're going to drive people across the paywall.
Take it again.
I think there needs to be another
This
comment
is a
in there.
really awkward
There.
statement.
That might work.
Okay, thank you with your
That'll help.
comments. Quote, there is a kind of franchise strategy, which is the notion that if you execute new versions of this really strong IP that you have, well, you're going to drive people across the paywall, end quote. McNamara also explained that the decision to move Prodigy to a Paramount Plus premiere came from the data?
The eternal question.
Isn't it, though? McNamara also explained that the decision to move Prodigy to a Paramount Plus premiere came from the data that they analyzed from CBS All Access showing, quote, subscribers who watch Trek shows also watch Nickelodeon's animated series, The Legend of Korra. End quote. I got you.
Thanks.
I see the quote marks. Do we want to talk about this or
Yeah, no, keep going,
have
keep
the
going.
next section? Okay. But what about section 31? Well, according to Kurtzman and McNamara, they're still in, quote, conversations, end quote. Variety's Adam B. Very reports that, quote, they emphasize that the current 5-series slate, Prodigy, Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks, and Strange New Worlds, will likely not expand further until at least one of those shows runs its course.
End quote. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I missed that one. There weren't quote marks.
But you can just say end quote and then get
Yeah, you
spliced
can
in.
just say end quote.
End quote.
I think there's quite a bit to unpack here. First up, they're moving the Prodigy premiere off of terrestrial television, broadcast television, Nickelodeon, and premiering it exclusively on Paramount Plus for the first 10 episodes. And there's slated to be 20 episodes total for the season. So after the 10 episodes air, then they push it to broadcast television. Then
Cable.
to cable television, right? Right, because Nickelodeon is not broadcast. It's not free. Then, in a separate article in the Hollywood Reporter, there was a Q&A. They had a dedicated interview between Kurtzman and McNamara, and they talk about. They compare the Star Trek multiverse in its current iteration under Kurtzman to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Kurtzman pretty much flat out said, nah, we're not trying to do a Marvel Cinematic Universe. Instead, he says, quote, whatever we do next is probably going to be in different timelines and different areas of the universe that haven't been explored before. A show that hasn't been dedicated to them yet, end quote. He also said things like we're aiming to have our shows feel unique and different from each other. We want to give everybody a reason to watch the show, end quote. This reminds me of how a few years ago they were talking about how they were just going to throw everything against the wall and see what sticks.
Every
Reminds
time
me of-
Kurtzman says something, I'm like, ooh, no.
It reminds me of a few minutes ago when I said it looks like they could just make any kind of zany space adventure and then slap a Star Trek label on it.
Right.
Well, that's kind of what he just said he was doing, and then blendering it.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
kind of is. In another quote out of that Hollywood. We're not doing this later, are we? Do you have that written down someplace else?
No.
Where? Okay.
Oh,
then I'm gonna
the
use this
really
part.
concerning quote
Yeah.
out of that article? Yeah.
Yeah, Kat knows what I'm talking about. Kat knows what I'm talking about. The really concerning quote where he says, "We've gotten a lot of
hold on. That's
positive
gonna be
feedback
weird to
about how
edit.
we free."
It's going to be weird to edit. Can you guys take it from the top of the thought?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I know, I just said that. And it reminds me of another quote in the Hollywood Reporter that when Kurtzman said he's gotten a lot of really positive feedback about how they've freed themselves from canon. And
Where's this
everyone really
feedback?
enjoys that.
What? Who's saying that? Who is saying that?
I
No
don't know.
one
Many
said
people
that.
are saying him. He's heard that from many people. Sir. People come up to him and say, sir, with tears in their eyes. And they say, thank you so much for freeing us from the canon, sir. Yeah, yeah.
No.
I understand what they're doing. It probably makes business sense. They got to look at the data, and they said, when we quit showing Star Trek, people stop subscribing, so we need to pull Prodigy off and plug it into Paramount Plus because we have a gaping production hole here between the end of this thing and the beginning of that thing. So we're going to fill that up with 10 weeks of Prodigy. And so that's why that happened. And then with Kurtzman, he doesn't want to hire people that only do Star Trek or that want to do Star Trek. He wants to hire anybody to make a space show, and then they'll put a Star Trek label on it because he wants to get people that have some sort of idea that he likes, that he thinks he can execute on, that he can be the king over, and then they'll just use the IP license to make sure they're using warp engines and phasers, not hyperdrives and laser guns.
This kind of talk that he says, things like, the fans appreciate, like, that scares me. That not scares me, but it bothers me, right? There's clearly an echo chamber that he's in, and he's only listening to certain. David Rutley says many people sitting around his table. And
Right,
many
exactly.
people that he's hired, many people
Yes.
that he's
Right.
that depend on him for a paycheck tell this to him.
but
Yeah,
an
it's
excellent-
great. Way to go. The stroke cannon out the window. No one
An
cares.
excellent example of this, or rather the disconnect here, is the TARDIS inside Discovery, right? That it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Yeah.
That got notably criticized when it first happened a season ago. And yet they doubled down, and in this recent season of Star Trek Discovery, it was a massive Monsters Inc. sequence of turbolift action series, right? And so who is he sourcing information from? Like, who is he listening to? Is it only the people that give him praise and criticism? Well, that's an unfortunate way of being an artist. An artist is always looking to grow and develop their craft, to take criticism that is constructive and apply it to their form and apply it to their craft. If this guy is just in an echo chamber in him, with himself and the people he's hired, and listening to people on Twitter that do nothing but praise Star Trek, that's not the way to be an artist. That's unfortunate, because we're never going to see
growth. We're getting him for 500, right? We're getting him for a 500 script, right? Kurtzman's coming on.
I mean,
we got Kurtzman.
I extended the invitation.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're ready to hear back, I'm sure.
Sure.
Other than like the whole TARDIS dimensional issues, like Kurtzman has another theme that I learned about just the other day in the Lost Sibling theme, because he's involved in the new Clarice show, and apparently Clarice Starling has some lost sibling, which was never addressed. And I'm like, oh, just like Spock. Oh, wait, just like in Lost when Jack was secret sibling, has a secret sibling too. I'm like, that's his MO. Big, crazy TARDIS spaces and lost siblings. That's Kurtzman in the blender.
I didn't know that Lost. I mean, we can all thank George Lucas for this. I mean, the grandpappy of all lost sibling stories. But to really go hard on it in every single series you work on, that's impressive. Yeah,
but like seriously, no one knew Clarice Starling had a brother. Come on, that's not a thing.
Is he the serial killer?
The
Probably.
Probably.
The counter to that is always going to be like, well, it wasn't addressed, so why not? Like, it just there are a lot of tropes.
That goes back to my. Yes, there. That goes back to my original argument. If it's good TV, nobody cares.
Right.
But
if it's not good TV.
It's not good TV. It's just
not
like
good TV.
No, a sibling, right?
I just watched the second season of Lost in Space, and I enjoyed it so much better than any of the new Trek that's been out. I can go on, and we have gone on. But I do also want to point out that this week they've been pushing hard on Paramount Plus. They've announced new shows that are coming out. For instance, they are, in fact, in the development of a new Halo series that has been in talks for a while, but they finally announced it, 2022. These are things that probably should have been announced during the Super Bowl ad. And again, just...
They weren't done yet.
Let's spend all this money, on a Super Bowl ad, and we'll wait to announce some of our best offerings on Paramount Plus until a week before it goes live. I don't know.
Well, when's the Halo thing coming out?
2023? 2.
Oh.
And it's going to be via Showtime, so who knows if it's even going to be on Paramount Plus first.
That's not even Paramount Plus.
But it's still Viacom CBS. So they're probably going to do what they did with Discovery and what they're now doing with Prodigy, which is it's going to premiere on Paramount Plus, like the first couple episodes, and then it's going to go live to cable television where you also pay. It's just I don't understand it. I don't understand how they're running anything over there. Kat, why don't you lead us into our community question?
Oh.
Anne-Marie Siegel in the chat goes, all the advertising was helpful. It reminded me to cancel my subscription.
All right then.
It's not all highlighted like it usually is.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wait, where is it? Okay. So tell us what you think, Captains. After learning more about how Star Trek will help build the Paramount Plus catalog and
Thanks
how
for
they
saying
might
it that
handle.
way. Thanks. Thank you for pointing out that there was a noticeable. You're like, will help build.
Sorry.
Well, and the intro's missing too.
That's fine.
All right. So tell us what you think, Captains. After learning more about how Star Trek will help build the Paramount Plus catalog and how they might handle news. Damn it.
Tell us, take it again from the top and give me a pause. Tell us what you think, Captains. Because then they'll do the...
All right. So tell us what you think, Captains. After learning more about how Star Trek will help build the Paramount Plus catalog and how they might handle new releases of Trek, are you sold on Paramount Plus? Let us know in the comment section for this episode at PriorityOnePodcast.com or by replying to our community question post on our social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Tony, why don't you take...
Speaking of animation, if you've been eager to get your hands on the Blu-ray release of Lower Decks, then your wait is almost over. StarTrek.com reports that Season 1 will be released onto Blu-ray, DVD, and limited edition Steelbook on May 18th. The release will, of course, include lots of special features like looking into the Easter eggs, commentary, deleted scenes, and more. You can pre-order your copy on Amazon now.
What's a steelbook?
It's a steel case, and I think they probably give you both the Blu-ray and the DVD in there, plus a little book.
Okay.
They're fun. They're kind of nice. You know, I have the Ender's Game.
Oh, I have the Die Hard one. Because, Die Hard, it's classic.
Because Die Hard, best
Right.
Christmas movie of all time. Yeah.
Excellent.
Elio, why don't you take that one?
Well, I'm sure I'm not alone, so I figured that Kat wrote this for herself.
No, I read it for a dude.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Now, I'm sure I'm not alone when I say that I love the women of Star Trek. And how do I know that I am sure others feel the same way? Well, check out the website womenmaketrek.com to feast your eyes on some amazing artwork displayed there. The creators of the website, Laz Marquez and Heather Ray, explain on the site that they want to honor those women from Star Trek that inspire people. The artwork featured
Includes, whoops, sorry, my bad. Includes posts.
Oh, I see. There should be a comma there.
Sorry.
The artwork featured includes posts from artists that share how these powerful women have impacted their lives.
I was looking through their website and oh my God, the stuff they have there. There was a Lwaxana Troy series that is so beautiful. And there was I think my favorite one might have been the Keiko O'Brien. Wow, that one was gorgeous. Whoever did that was amazing. But there's some really cool stuff on their website.
Yeah, I think that this is an example of Star Trek. Yeah, I think this is an example of the Star Trek community at its best, right? Lifting up artists that are passionate about Star Trek, who don't necessarily do this for a commission, but instead just want to share their passion for the franchise. So, yeah, check it out. Be sure to peruse some of the work and donate if at all possible.
I'd like to have prints made of some of that stuff. There was a Tasha Yar one that was, wow, so amazing. Anyway, it's awesome.
I'll read this one because I wrote it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Microsoft is really, really trying to be one of the cool kids who brings a Star
Actually,
Trek
let's do
technology
can
to
we do
life.
a better segue to that? Like,
I can do any kind of segue you want.
Yeah, let's
like,
say something
moving
like
on, or
this may not be Trek, or something like that. This isn't Star.
it's totally Trek. What the heck
No,
are you
I know,
talking
but
about? It's
but
totally-
say
it's
something
totally
like
Trek.
this may not be directly related to a new Star Trek, but it's technology that sure does remind us of it. Come on, Tony, do something like that. You know better. You
Brings
pull the
holodecks
words,
closer to reality.
pull
Well,
the
it's
words
right
out of my
here at the
brain.
end of this first sentence right here. Star Trek technology to life. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reorder this sentence.
That's
I'm going
great.
to take this sentence.
Take it
I'm
out
going
of
to
my
put the
brain.
back
Just-
end at the front end. English is cool like that because you can take a clause that you put at the end and you can put it at the front. So I'm going to say things like, say something like, here we go. You know who wants to be one of the really cool kids and bring a Star Trek technology to life? Microsoft. That's who. Motorola brought us the flip phone. A bunch of Kickstarters tried the tricorder thing. But the corporation who brought you MS-DOS and Xbox X Series X to the X Power wants to be the company that makes you into a being of light. No, it's not a weird ascension ritual. It's the Mark I holodeck. And just like you can't go from a plasma rifle straight to a phaser without first stopping at phase pistol, we Earthlings have to make a quick stop between Skype meetings and the holodeck. Microsoft decided to call that midpoint the HoloMesh. It's the next step in their augmented reality technology, which blends the virtual with the real. While the demo concentrated on Pokemon Go and James Cameron's underwater research, the everyday use case will be socially distanced virtual collaboration with coworkers and virtual objects. So while a Klingon fitness training regimen complete with pain sticks and force field Nausicaans is still on the drawing board, maybe you'll be able to argue grand unification theory with Einstein by 2024. I want that meeting room. That's what I want.
Awesome. I'd love to have meetings in that meeting room.
I want us in a virtual recording booth where people are sitting across from each other, and I can throw things at Elio. That's what I want. That's the goal.
We were talking last week on After Hours about some VR stuff and all that jazz. But honestly, if I were to invest in another VR headset rig, I think I would rather wait for augmented reality. I think that's the direction that things are going.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to cut yourself off from your environment. There's safety concerns, and plus, it's really disorienting to have when you have to like do something in the real world, take it off and put it back on again, take it off, put it back on again. Right. It'd be so much better if you could have an overlay that became transparent when necessary, or you could turn off temporarily or whatever. So I hope this becomes more commonplace and usable for regular folks.
Agreed. Well, Captains, if you watched the Deep Space Nine documentary and wondered, hey, how about one for Voyager? Then wonder no more. The same production team that brought you the DS9 doc and For the Love of Spock have already hit their funding and stretch goals with, at the time of this recording, over $500,000 raised. And that's with 29 days left into the Indiegogo campaign. So if you want to contribute and get the best documentary possible, along with some swag, head over to the Indiegogo campaign. Links, of course, will be in our show notes. We don't have to talk about it.
I can't wait till they do Enterprise.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good one, too. Kat, why don't you sweep us out? So now let's find out what happened in the world to start. No, let's find out.
Well, Captains, that's all the news we have to check out this week. Now let's find out what happened in the world of Star Trek gaming.
3630, Tony.
All right.
Oh, you see, someone agrees with me about Kurtzman and Clarice. That they had to turn
is it
off.
out yet? It's out. It's already out. Clarice is out.
Oh yeah, it's out.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't understand what they're doing there.
Also, Dave Bretley with his commas, only $6.99 a dozen.
You know,
good time.
I just finished watching season 2 of Lost in Space, and I had not caught up, and I finally finished it. And I remember when Allison was still on the show, the artist formerly known as Kenna. We would talk about nice. the
first season. Yep, we watched the first season.
Right, and about the peril, right? So much every episode there's peril.
Lots of peril.
I had to stop watching it. It was giving me stress after like the
My mom
episode.
couldn't watch it.
I know.
All the little kids in trouble all the time, like they're gonna die. She couldn't watch it. My mother could not watch it.
Seriously, the second episode, I'm like, this is stressing me out too much. I can't deal with it.
But here's the thing, though. Isn't that what the original show was, though? Every episode was a new perilous adventure?
But it was the 60s.
Yeah, of course it was the 60s.
It was 60s peril.
I'm sure
was there quicksand or pterodactyls?
I'm sure there was quicksand and pterodactyls. But I'm sure that for 60s, people were like, this is too much peril. That poor Will Robinson boy, right? Like...
No,
I don't know. Are you sure? Maybe.
No, remember back then, those people had nice, fat contracts that they were going to finish the season, right? In 2020, 2021, every one of those people could die at any moment.
Right.
just because because the show writers want a little punch up. So there's a qualitative difference in 60s TV versus 21st century TV.
Right.
Yeah. So
But here's the other thing about Lost in Space, and if you haven't watched it, I recommend
season 2 is better than season 1, and season 1 was pretty all right, but season 2 is better.
Yeah, and yes, every episode there's some sort of peril. They're about to die. They're all about to die in every episode, and yes, that may get your anxiety going. It's likely that it will. But here's the thing, is that nothing's ever going to happen to the Robinson family. Right? Like, it's unlikely something's ever going to happen to the Robinson family.
No guarantees in space.
But what about
no
Parker
guarantees.
Posey? Because she's the
Well, no, hold on. But, and now
Really
here's
good.
the thing, too, is that Parker Posey's character, right, Dr. Smith, is the
Top tier
perfect
villain.
kind of villain. Yeah.
Top tier villain.
I love
Holy
her.
crap.
Oh.
Holy crap. And in season 2, and I think this is what made Dr. Smith in the original series also an attractive villain, was that, yes, he was always looking out for himself. He was a sinister, diabolical, manipulative character. But when push comes to shove, if Will was in trouble, he would help Will, right? Or something, right? He'd save the day somehow. So, and they port that over really well in this series. And Parker Posey just knocks it out of the park, where you hate her, but you also love her, but you love to hate her. It's this weird pull and, push and pull of her character that is just so engaging.
This is a fine example where if they made a Lost in Space and they slapped a Star Trek label on it, it would totally work, because they've got a good story with compelling characters and an interesting plot, right? This is where, if Kurtzman's plan works well, it could really make Star Trek a big thing. Because people are like, Lost in Space, oh yeah, it's that 60s rerun, never mind. But they might give a Star Trek show a chance because it's got a Star Trek label. Oh, I like Star Trek. I dig it. All right, let's see. I kind of know what's going on with that, so I'll try that out. That's where it could totally work. Now, again, track record so far, I'm slightly hesitant to make that leap of faith here.
No,
I'm
because
sure that
there'll be some
four...
lost siblings showing
is.
up.
Right.
There it is.
Another
Parker
example
Posey have a lost sibling.
Of why I think Lost in Space worked too, is that the goal is to get to Alpha Centauri. That's the plot.
Clear story, like
That's it.
Yes.
That's the plot. And every episode is something getting in their way, right? It's just something getting in their way, and they have to work around that. And what that puzzle does is that it develops character, and it develops the dialogue, and it develops the relationships, right? But the plot's the same. Get away from where we are now and back to what we were supposed to be doing. Not convoluted, not complicated. The only complications that happen are when they're stopped by doing that. But they're not stopped by doing that because they're injecting another subplot, because they're injecting another, weird thing. No. It's get home. Damn, there's a roadblock. How do we overcome this roadblock as a family? If Discovery was a third of that show, it would be a much better show.
At least half.
At
You gotta
least
get
half,
half,
yeah,
three
at least
quarters.
half,
Yeah,
at
half, 3/4. Yeah.
Just one plot, man. Just one linear. Okay, Discovery's got to do something. Let's not try to inject. You know what? Like another Kurtzman thing is, everything has to be mystery. Everything has to be like, oh my gosh, what could it be? Whoa! It just. Why? Why?
And then you recruit a Battlestar Galactica writer to foreshadow why no one is gonna like how this turns out, which is still my favorite part of season 3. I hope that when we find out the source of the burn, it's enough for everyone. I hope the answer is enough for everyone.
No. Well,
Nope.
you knew that by saying that. Oh,
Yep.
Lord.
Yep. I need to go look up that woman's name again, because that was a public service. That was a public service she did for us.
Anyway,
All right.
We should do the rest of the show.
we should do the rest of the show.
What?
Maybe we'll talk more about.
This isn't the Lost in Space episode, but
not.
it could be.
It's not. It should
But
be.
it could be.
That's it. We're changing priority 1 to be a Lost. To be Lost in Space.
Lost in Space fan cast. That's right.
Lost in Space fan cast. I really hope they bring it back for season 3. It was a poor. I think it was a poor.
It was in the works. No, it was in the works. It was in the works.
Oh, it is in the
season
works.
3 was
Okay.
in the works.
Right.
Was in the works. I don't know if COVID derailed it or whatever,
yeah.
but it was in the works. Yeah.
But even like, and look, I'm gonna now. I'm preaching. I'm saying good things about Lost in Space. It's not without its flaws. Like there's some really campy dialogue.
It's not perfect.
Really,
It's not perfect.
there's some 60s level campy dialogue conversations happening on that ship.
But it's good TV. You
But
forgive
it's
it.
good TV. Yes.
You forgive it. Yeah, okay, they got a little campy there. No, that's a little bit predictable. And oh my God, okay, again with the peril. Okay, fine. But you forgive it because it's good, because it's fun. It's good TV.
And I think it stays true to the original. I think it does. It takes the original and then, injects its 2020, 2021 steroids into it. And when they do campy things like that, you go, you know what? Yeah, that's kind of like the 60s. You know what? That's all right. That plays well.
Oh, nice. Jason Smith says Lost in Trek. That's our new name.
Lost in Trek, yes. Yes.
So it's
All right.
supposed to. So the shooting started in 2020. They completed shooting in 2021.
For season 3?
So either late 2021 or early 2022.
good. I'm glad. I'm glad that they got renewed. I really am glad
best.
they got renewed.
More Parker Posey.
Yeah, man. You know that she's so. No, we can't talk about it.
I'm
can't
like,
talk about it. We
I
don't wanna spoil it.
just love her. I love
She's
her and
great.
everything.
And in season
Everything.
2, she's
good
even
villain.
better than she was in season 1. So much better than she was in season 1.
Busy
But
bee.
there was a progression to her character, right? It wasn't. Man, I love
All the good
season 2,
things.
man. I love season 2.
Season 1 was
great.
okay. Season 2 got better, and
Yeah.
that makes me think season 3 will be even better. So yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I gotta
Such a good
catch
show.
up. Get the stress out.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Just all you have to do is remember that at the end of the episode, everybody's gonna be fine. That's all you gotta remember. Everybody's gonna be fine
Alright.
at the end of it. Most people are gonna be fine. Nobody you care about is ever gonna have something happen to. Maybe. All right, we're gonna be
Even.
check it out. 45, please. All right, check it out in 3. What am I saying? Stowe News.
I'm
in
like,
3,
wait, Stowe News.
2.
Gaming news.
Sorry, wannabe Red Angels. Time travel will be forbidden by 3189. Actually. Sorry, wannabe Red Angels. Time travel will be forbidden by the year 3189. Forever consumed by the blender of canon. Writers of the 32nd century will never know the thrill of making characters say how much they hate temporal mechanics. But nothing, not the temporal accords, not Q, not even Viacom CBS itself, is more powerful than our appetite for new ships. Cryptic provides what Alex Kurtzman denies. Cryptic provides what Kurtzman denies, as Star Trek Online gets its first ship of the 32nd century. The Janeway class
Century.
command... What'd I say?
Century.
Century.
You need a ch in there.
No, you don't. That's not how you pronounce things.
Century.
It's
Century is it?
century. You don't say century. It's not CH. Yes, that's the...
Cat, you want to do a
it's
tiebreaker on this one here
like
for me?
TR is not train, it's train. Terrain. It's not train, it's terrain.
Okay, Google. Pronunciation century. Here, I'm even gonna screenshot it for you. Here, I'm gonna screenshot it for you.
Woo! Wow.
What's the IPA? Send me the link. Send me the link, Mr. Hunter.
Hang on. I'm putting it in.
Can we
producer
listen
chat.
to it? I guess probably not.
You probably could, because it's gonna be the same thing as I post here in the
I'm
production
gonna look
chat.
at the IPA. Hold on a second.
Please hold while we confirm the pronunciation of the word
Century.
century.
Century, seriously now. And you're in theater even. You're a theater
I would
guy
say
even.
Century.
Century.
First of all, this says
That's
century. I'm looking at Google
Century.
right now and it says century,
Century.
which is wrong. I'm trying to find the IPA. I kind of hold on. Where's?
It's a thing. I'm sorry I turned this into a thing. We went off the rails on Lost Space. Now we're off on the rails on the pronunciation of the word century. This is a night for being off the rails. And you know what it is? You know what it is?
What?
I've had half a bottle of wine.
Oh,
So
nice. Well, I need to
that's made me
catch up.
combative. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, Panda says phonetic slap fighting is what we're here for.
Phonetic slap fighting, yes. I can't
That's
find
why you tune into the
why
live
can't
show.
I
You never know what's
easily
going to happen.
find- I need just the. All right, I'm gonna say it the way I say it. All right, just shut up.
Lisa's made it into the blooper reel.
All right. Cryptic
Yeah, the first sentence great.
I know.
Yeah, the first sentence.
Cryptic
Thomas never
provides
used the word
what
century.
Kurtzman denies, as Star Trek Online gets its first ship from the 32nd century, the Janeway-class command science vessel. First seen as the Voyager-J in Die Trying, the Janeway class represents 11 iterations of the Intrepid class from... First seen as the Voyager-J in Die Trying, the Janeway class represents 11 iterations on the Intrepid class from, well, Voyager. In-game, the Janeway class is Command First and Science Second, with the Inspiration mechanic and a Command Science Command bridge seat. It also has a secondary deflector, other standard science vessel capabilities, and a Lieutenant Universal Miracle Worker seat. After all, when your fleet apparently only has a dozen ships, you have to make the most of them. A photonic cannon console cloaks you and spawns a short-lived pew-pew pet to handle the dirty work. Please hold. The enhanced cloaking integration trait adds hull restoration and maneuverability when entering cloak, and firing cycle haste when leaving it. Finally, the 32nd century phaser weapons... Shut up, don't judge me. The enhanced cloaking integration trait adds hull restoration. The enhanced cloaking integration trait adds hull restoration and maneuverability when entering cloak, and firing cycle haste when leaving it. Finally, the 32nd century phaser weapons offer both a minty fresh taste and possibly one of the best procs ever. These weapons may cause both immediate and overtime bridge officer cooldown reductions, giving your Aux to Bat builds technician DOFs a well-earned breather. Is there anything about the Janeway class that doesn't get us jazzed? Well, fans' reception of the 32nd century ship aesthetic. Fans' reception of the 32nd century ship aesthetic is as divided as the ship themselves.
Womp womp.
More to the point, this will be the game's latest premium ship. Womp womp. As an Infinity Pro... Okay, wait. More to the point, this will be the game's latest premium ship. As in, Infinity promo ship. As in, the Infinity R&D and DOF pack promotion running now through March 25th. If you don't have a cool trillion in energy credits just laying about, then buy some packs and pray to RNGesus.
Man.
You know how when you make a copy of a copy of a copy of something, like sometimes you can't read it anymore, like some parts are missing, like there's some gaps. I feel like that's what happened with the J here. That's they made a copy of the Voyager, and they made another copy of the Voyager, and they made another copy of the Voyager, and all of a sudden there's no neck and there's no pylons.
I see what you're saying.
It's just missing parts now.
I don't particularly hate the aesthetic.
Really?
It's
I mean,
terrible. Really? You
I
don't
love
like it?
I love a science ship, but I don't know. I'm
You don't
still
despise
on
it with
the
every
fence.
fiber of your being?
I don't despise
Like a normal
fiber.
person?
I don't. What I do despise with every fiber of my being is the fact that this is in a R&D pack. I don't understand.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Let's talk about it for a second, because I don't understand the R&D packs anymore. Crafting in Star Trek... Who's crafting in Star Trek Online? Who? And for what? But for what? What are you crafting for?
I see a hand raised here. A hand raised in the back. Yes, you.
I mean,
You in the back.
mostly like white arc cannons and bridge officer specializations.
So it's need specific, right? You get a ship and you need a thing for it.
I
You
need a
just go
thing,
grab it.
right? I'll go craft it. But yeah, you are right, Elio. Like, I don't know why we buy these. I have a million R&D packs. I don't need any more of those. I don't need R&D bits. I don't want to craft any more things because I can already craft the things. It's annoying.
And I know what they're gonna say. Their retort is, well, you at least will get 10 low-buy. But it just nothing in that pack is appealing to me. There's nothing in that. I do not craft, and I don't know that there is a. It's not like other MMOs where there are people who dedicate their time and play time into crafting, right? Like that's what I think about when with these R&D packs, right? I compare it to other games where crafting is a profession and you can make buku in-game currency by crafting special items for other people, but I don't think that there's a market for that in Star Trek Online where at least not the way it was when it first came out. When it first came out, it was like, oh, please craft me the Aegis set or craft me that TR rifle, please. Oh my gosh, I need that. But now,
there's nothing you can craft that you couldn't get a reputation version of something that's better, like
Right.
or a mission reward that's even better than something you could craft. And that's it's unfortunate because you would like crafting to mean something, and why would you spend all your time running these R&D missions to get to level 20, which takes forever, and you don't get anything extra for it?
The other problem that they're having here is that I'm still not clear on a particular thing that has to do with these R&D promo packs. The new meta event that they've got going, where you do the events throughout the year, and then at the end of the deal, you get a tier 6 premium ship token that'll unlock all the stuff. I do not see my Enterprise, 23rd Century Enterprise on there. I don't see my. I don't.
It's in there. It's in there.
The temporal light cruiser.
Yes,
I have.
Because that has been available since prior to December 31st, 2020. Therefore, it will be available as an option. Even if the list does not actually include it right now, they have said it's in there.
Okay, so someone needs to go and update the list then, because it is not on the list.
They're working on it. They are working on it. But it is in there.
I've been checking. I want. This is top priority. Priority 1, as a matter of fact. You should definitely make sure that my 23rd Century Enterprise is in there.
Yeah, as Revan Industries said, the list was bugged. They acknowledge it, and the updated list arrives next Tuesday.
Along with my photon torpedoes and tractor beam. Okay, fine.
You know what else is interesting about this ship? That though they did say, and this wasn't in the article, but the weapons that you get on this ship are not upgradable, which also leads us to the conclusion that they will offer an upgradable version of those phaser weapons in a future lockbox.
Fun.
So, kind of like the spiral wave disruptors, but you'll probably have to buy them with dilithium.
So much to love about the Voyager-J. The fact that it falls apart, the fact that it's in the R&D promo box.
A lot of people in the Armada, it's a kind of a split. Like, some people are like, no, I don't need a science ship. But a lot of people are really excited about this ship. So it's about 50-50,
I blame Doug
Drexler.
Drexler.
Sounds pretty good. The trait sounds.
Yeah, the trait sounds amazing. I mean, photonic cannon. I mean,
fun story.
Cool.
Fun story at the Star Trek convention that I took my son to back in 2013 when he was in 5th grade. That was a trivia question that the trivia guy got wrong, and my son corrected him. He said, the question was, and he just saw this episode, what was the secret weapon the Doctor used when he took command of the Voyager? And Jim said, the photonic cannon. And the guy said, no, sorry, it's the photon cannon. And my son said, no, you're wrong. It's the photonic cannon. And he was like 9 or something like that.
Awesome.
It was a proud moment for me. Yeah. And then we looked it up on our phones, and sure enough, it was the photonic cannon.
Amazing. Wow.
You guys can move on to the
I
next
think we're
one.
done.
All right. What are we
Oh,
doing
well,
next?
okay. In other Star Trek gaming news, you guys pick Fighter Master.
Dot, dot, dot.
Oh,
Cat,
I
alright,
think
Cat, go
Tony
ahead.
should.
Oh, Tony.
okay.
All right, Tony.
So Tony's doing it?
Cat. I want Cat.
All right.
Can't do it.
I can do it. We're at the Star Trek Adventures thing, right? Just to confirm.
Yes.
Aspiring artists of the 21st century on February 24th. Wait.
I think that's a address. That is a herald. You're aspiring artists of the 21st century. You're calling out to them. Like Elio couldn't remember captains earlier. Hello.
Right.
You. Yeah.
Aspiring artists of the 21st century. On February 24th, Star Trek Adventures project manager Jim Johnson announced that he had, quote, more STA products in the pipeline and more work than freelance artists available, end quote. If you're interested, send an email to, quote, jimjohnson@modifius.com, end quote, with links to portfolios, work samples, and contact information. Our show notes also have a link to existing STA artwork for artists looking for subject and aesthetic suggestions. Last but not least, it's also good news for Star Trek Adventure players. Plenty to look forward to in 2021. That didn't make a lot of
Sweep us out.
sense. But whatever.
I'll sweep us out. That's the news from Star Trek Gaming this week. Now let's open hailing frequencies and see what's incoming.
All right. That ended at 1 hour 13 seconds. So 1013. Sorry, I'm doing four different things at once, trying to get ready for 500th.
Sorry.
So you're triple tasking now?
Triple tasking right now. Triple tasking. All right.
That's a lot of tasking.
All right. Ready? You guys ready for feedback?
Yep.
All right. So how about 1 hour, 1 minute? All right. Feedback in 3, 2. Well, Captains, hailing frequencies are now open, and we're ready to receive all of your incoming messages.
Last week, our first community question was, if there was a feature film reboot of the... Dang it, Rafa! Stop it. Sorry. Last week, our first community question was, if there was a feature film reboot of The Next Generation, who would you cast as Data?
He came through again.
Yeah, he came through again.
Well, he's got
Twice.
plenty to say. Rafa? Jerk. Last week, our first community question was, if there was a feature film reboot of The Next Generation, who would you cast as Data?
On Twitter, folks like Ken from Chicago, Mark Taylor, and Dell, that bearded gamer, said, that beardy gamer, all agree that Jim Parsons would be perfect as Data. Jim Parsons, for those of you that may not know, is Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Not young Sheldon.
Not young
Not
Sheldon.
not the little one. Okay, just make sure.
Actually, Kat, why don't you just take this one?
Also from Twitter, Scorpio King writes, well, that's easy. Real life android, Mark Zuckerberg.
That's a good one. From Facebook, Matthew Mevis replies, Mark Jackson, the guy who played Isaac on The Orville. He literally had fans thinking Brent was voicing the role until he and Seth announced it publicly.
Also from Facebook, Matt Black wrote, recast Data? Let's go way out there and suggest Tilda Swinton. Ooh, I love her.
Our second community question last week was, what bridge officer traits do you rely on for your builds in Star Trek Online?
From Facebook, Matt Black says, I like an android buff with reboot in the early game. For space as a KDF, pirate, or superior Romulan operative.
And finally from Facebook, Randall Dederick responded, for tactical, I use Romulan officers with superior Romulan operative. For engineering, Vanguard Jem'Hadar with engineered soldier space, and Andrea Android with streamlined retrofit engineering. For science, Kentati with Kentati ferocity, leadership, and superior...
Wait
for
a
science,
minute. That's Kentari.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounded like he was trying to like make me sound stupid by making something up that didn't exist. I like spaghetti meatball officer guy.
Yeah, Kentari. Yeah.
Oh, Kentari.
Okay. Whoa. That's Sing, isn't it? Kentare? Yeah, that's Sing. Volare fly off, Kentare sing.
Yeah,
sing and fly away.
Ooh, look at you.
For science, Kentari with Kentari ferocity, leadership, and superior efficiency. Vanguard Jem'Hadar with engineered soldier, space, and hierarchy with efficient and pirate.
How come no one mentioned Lorca with his awesome
Stop
space?
playing football!
Oh, God.
No, it's Are You Ready for Some Football? That's how the song goes.
Thought that was how that
Hank
was.
Williams Jr., come on, man.
But, back to Lorca with his...
Yeah, go ahead and start that over again because
I hate my upstairs neighbors. I really do.
probably got to take that from the top there with the whole, hey, what
All right.
about?
Hey, what about Lorca with his warfare specialist space trait? That one is one of my favorites. I can't believe it. No one mentioned it.
I think you just like to imagine him on your bridge doing whatever you say
You should.
in the spacesuit.
You should.
There may be some bias here. It's my
What?
opinion.
No.
My opinion.
Well, that wraps up episode 499 of Priority One, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. But there are more great shows available to you on the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Just visit podcasts.roddenberry.com for a complete list. Then be sure to subscribe to them all and share them with your friends.
And we can't forget to send a special thanks. Oh, wait, did I say that right? And we can't forget to send a special thanks to some of our Patreon supporters like David K. Rutley, Peter Archibald, and Gerald Bosch.
And in our community question this week, we asked you if the new announcements regarding Paramount Plus and the Star Trek multiverse were enough to get you to subscribe.
Captains, it's important to us that you get your voice heard and that you participate in the conversation. Leave us a comment on our website at PriorityOnePodcast.com, on our Facebook page at Facebook.com/PriorityOnePodcast, or you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at PriorityOnePod.
And if you're still craving more, be sure to spend time with Winters, Anthony, Thomas, Gray, me, plus the rest of the Priority One Armada. Saturday nights, the Armada broadcasts live to review the latest news from Star Trek Online and the Armada community, including spotlighting some of our amazing members. With regular giveaways, there's something for all Stowe players, whether you're new or a veteran. So just follow us on all our social media accounts for broadcast times. And if you'd like to join the Armada, visit PriorityOneArmada.com.
This episode of Priority One Podcast is brought to you by our patrons through patreon.com. During these difficult times, we are humbled by the continued support of our patrons who find value in the content we produce each and every week. Don't forget, that website is patreon.com/Priority One.
And please tune in to Priority One Productions Guard Frequency Podcast at guardfrequency.com. Each episode, the Guard will take you inside the universe of your favorite space sims, including a tabletop adventure played out by your hosts. And Heroes Rise brings you up to date with the world of Dungeons & Dragons. Learn all about the latest publications, tools, tips, tricks, and traps in less time than it takes to skin a wyvern. Head over to heroesrisepodcast.com to discover their secrets.
Thanks to our audio editors, including Gray, Brandon, William, Daniel, Rand, Roscoe, Lennon, and Skiffy. Thanks to our producer, Jake, and associate producers, Shane and Thomas. Together, they help us organize and write up our summary of the weekly headlines from the Star Trek multiverse. Thanks to our social media manager, Anthony. Thanks to our graphic artist, Henry, with support from Jason of the Priority One Armada and Alejandro Todisco of Star Trek Argentina. Thanks.
Thanks,
It was
everybody.
very, very Argentinian of me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks to the composer of our theme music, Chris Watts. But most importantly, a big thanks to you, the Star Trek community, our listeners. Because without your ongoing support, none of this would be possible. All right.
Shields up.
Shields
Everybody
up.
panic.
Ready weapons. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to blow pew pew. Pew pew pew. Tony, I've been trying to watch The Expanse, man. It just...
If you can't do it, you can't do it. You just can't
I'm-
be friends with me anymore. It's okay.
I'm trying
All right,
so
we've had a
hard
good
to
run.
get through it. The thing about it is that it's
We've had a
getting
good
really
run.
good reviews, so like I really want to give it a nice shot, but it just I
You
don't
want
know,
to be
I
one of the cool kids.
I do want to be one of the cool kids, but I keep falling asleep.
Oh no, that's
I keep
terrible.
falling asleep, man.
I got it. This is a. He tasks me. He tasks me, and I shall have him. I'll figure out how to do this. I will crack this code. I will crack this code.
I'm gonna try again tonight after we're off. We're
No.
done with after
No. If you got through CQB, if you got through the spot where they finally steal their ship and rocket away, did you get to that?
They steal
You have
the
a blank look on your face. They didn't get into their ship and rocket away really fast from the nuclear explosion of the battleship.
Yeah. I'm all the way up to the point where they finally find her and she's in the shower. Dead.
You're not hooked when they find her in
I'm
the
still
motel
not
shower
hooked,
covered
man.
in the blue goo and the crystals.
Yeah, I know. I'm still not. I'm like, yeah, man. I don't know why.
This is a tough one, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. I gotta find the hook for him. I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna find the narrative hook for this guy. I'm gonna find it.
I'm trying, man. You know what it is? I don't like the detective. I don't like that actor. He just is so kind of.
You just don't like Thomas Jane?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of Thomas Jane. No. I don't think I've liked anything I've seen him in, or rather, I don't think I've liked him in anything I've seen him in. So I don't know. I'm gonna try, man. I'm giving it the good old 1-2, whatever the colloquial saying is.
The college try is what
The
you
college
frequently
try.
do.
I'm giving it the good old
giving it the college
try.
try. I gotta crack this code. Gotta crack this code. I want you to be one of the cool kids with us.
Good night, Thomas.
really
And
do.
again, thank you so very much for your contribution, man. Thank you so very much for helping.
Yes,
us.
Thomas,
Thank
we will
you,
make that
Thomas.
patch real and real pretty.
And send me the vector if you can, please.
Vector file. Yep, vector file.
All right.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
we're gonna go off air now and take a little break before we do after hours. Thank you, Captain, so very much for joining us on this live broadcast recording. And for our patrons, we're gonna be talking about things. All right. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
y'all.
Command codes verified. Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.